All right, so we're diving deep today into the world of blood sugar, going way beyond just the basics. We're going to really dig into how and why your body works so hard to keep that glucose level nice and steady. We've got some fascinating research here from a leading health expert and FIM. I think you'll be surprised by what we uncover.
It's a truly intricate system. It's far more complex than just, eat sugar, blood sugar goes up. We're really going to be focusing on the intricate dance between your liver and pancreas today.
Yeah, it's way more interesting than it sounds, I think. Most people think of it as just like, the pancreas, pumping out insulin. What about the liver? What's its role in all of this? I'm ready to have my mind blown.
Think of your liver as like a master regulator. It's constantly working behind the scenes to maintain balance. You know how like a thermostat keeps your house at a comfortable temperature? The liver does the same thing for your blood sugar. When those levels dip, it releases stored sugar, called glycogen, to bring them back up.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then, where does the pancreas fit into all of this?
Okay, so the pancreas is like your rapid response team equipped with insulin, right? So after you eat, especially, carb-heavy meals, your blood sugar spikes. And that's when the pancreas kicks into gear, releasing insulin to help your cells absorb that excess sugar and bring everything back to a stable level.
So they work as a team.
Yeah.
That sounds like the liver is doing a lot more heavy lifting than we give it credit for.
Absolutely. And here's a fact that might surprise you. The liver's primary blood sugar regulating hormone is actually 100 times more abundant than insulin. And it's constantly making adjustments, even when you're not eating.
Wait, 100 times more abundant. That's incredible. Why don't we hear more about this hormone, if it's so important?
Well, it's partly due to how they're measured. They use different units, which makes direct comparisons tricky. It's kind of like trying to compare the weight of a feather to a bowling ball using different scales, right? We can't get a clear picture. But the sheer volume of the liver's hormone tells us just how vital it is for blood sugar control.
Okay, I'm starting to see why the liver is the real MVP here. But how does it actually do all this? Is there like a secret weapon?
You could say there is. It's not really a secret, but it's often overlooked. And that is potassium.
Potassium. Like the stuff in bananas?
Bananas are a good source, but it's about the bigger picture. Think of potassium as the key. That unlocks the doors to your liver and muscle cells, allowing them to store sugar effectively.
So if I'm low on potassium, my body struggles to store sugar properly. Is that when, the cravings hit?
That's exactly it. You ever notice how those sugar cravings intensify? When you're stressed or haven't been eating well, your body could be signaling potassium deficiency, struggling to manage blood sugar effectively.
So how much potassium should we be aiming for to keep those sugar storage units functioning properly?
Ideally around 4,700 milligrams daily. Now, here's the catch. Relying solely on supplements isn't the answer. I mean, you'd need a mountain of pills. The most effective and delicious solution lies in a robust intake of vegetables.
Makes sense. Getting your nutrients from whole foods is always better.
Yeah.
But just how many veggies are we talking about here?
Aim for at least 7 cups a day. It sounds like a lot, but it's really the best way to ensure you're getting enough potassium and other essential nutrients to support your liver's critical role in regulating blood sugar.
7 cups is a challenge, but I'm starting to see why it's so important. We've talked about the liver's role, the importance of potassium.
Right.
But what happens when this delicate balance goes awry? That's where diabetes comes in, right?
Yes, and there's a lot more to it than most people realize. There are different types of diabetes, each with its own unique causes and implications for managing blood sugar. So we've talked about the liver working so hard, to keep blood sugar balanced. But sometimes things go wrong. That's where diabetes comes in, right?
Right. And I think most people, they kind of lump all diabetes together.
Yeah.
But there are big differences, aren't there?
Oh, absolutely. Let's start with type 2. It's the most common, and it's basically a communication problem between insulin and the liver. The liver cells start ignoring insulin.
So it's like insulin's knocking, but no one's home.
Yeah, good analogy. Imagine insulin's like a delivery person, right? Bringing glucose to the cells, needs to unlock the door. But with insulin resistance, the locks are rusty, insulin can't do its job.
Ah, so that's where medications come in, like metformin.
Yeah, think of it like WD-40. Loosening those rusty locks so insulin can deliver the glucose.
So the liver's not ignoring insulin completely. It's just the communication's messed up.
Exactly. Now, type 1 is totally different. The problem's with the pancreas itself. Can't make enough insulin. Or any at all in some cases.
So it's like a production shortage. Not a communication problem.
Exactly. The insulin factories shut down. Without insulin, the body can't manage blood sugar, leads to all sorts of problems.
That's stuff to deal with.
It is. Type 1 folks need insulin injections to replace what their body's not making.
So both types are about blood sugar,
Mm-hmm.
but the cause and the solution, totally different.
Right. And that brings us to another piece of this puzzle. Growth hormone.
Growth hormone. I thought that was just for kids.
Yeah.
Growing taller. How does that affect blood sugar?
Well, it's connected, more than you might think. Growth hormone actually stimulates the liver to release that blood sugar hormone we talked about.
So it's like a coach for the liver,
Yeah,
telling it to work harder.
you got it. But the thing is, as we age, growth hormone drops.
So does that mean our blood sugar control gets worse automatically as we get older?
It can make things tougher, yeah. That's why supporting liver health is so important, especially as we age. Diet and lifestyle are key.
Okay, so we need to give our liver some extra love,
Yeah,
especially as we get older. How do we do that?
lots of ways. But one of the best is through diet. And that's where our friend kale comes in.
I was wondering when kale would show up. What makes it so good for the liver?
Kale, and other low-sugar veggies, the bitter ones. They have stuff that really supports the liver. Think of them like a detox spa treatment, helping your liver filter out toxins.
So kale's not alone. We need a variety of those veggies. What else can we do to help our liver and balance blood sugar?
Great question, and it leads us to another really important thing, stress.
Stress, you mean like my emotions affect my blood sugar?
They do. We can't ignore the mind-body connection. Chronic stress throws off all sorts of hormones, and that messes with blood sugar.
Wow, so even if I eat perfectly, if I'm stressed out, my blood sugar can still be off.
That's it exactly. It's not just what we eat. It's also what's going on inside, our minds and hearts.
So it's really about the whole picture, huh? Not just food.
Exactly. It's all connected, mind and body.
So beside all those great veggies, what else helps with stress? To keep things balanced.
Tons of things. Mindfulness, meditation, getting out in nature, even just deep breathing can make a big difference.
I love being outdoors.
Yeah.
It really does help me de-stress.
It makes sense, right? Studies show that being in nature lowers your stress hormones, heart rate, blood pressure. It's like a reset button for your whole system.
Yeah. It's amazing how much our bodies tell us. If we just listen, you know what I mean?
Right.
What helps us feel good?
Totally. The key is finding what works for you. And doing it regularly. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Even a few minutes of deep breaths can help.
So it's not just about what we eat to keep our blood sugar happy. It's also about taking care of ourselves, mentally and emotionally, too.
Absolutely. It's about a lifestyle that supports balance in all areas of our lives.
It's been so eye-opening. We've learned so much. The liver is like the unsung hero of blood sugar. Potassium is key for storing sugar. Those leafy greens are like a spa treatment for the liver. And managing stress is just as important as what we eat.
It's been great exploring this with you. And before we go, one last thing to think about. We've talked about how stress affects blood sugar, but what about the other way around? How does your blood sugar affect you? Your mood, your energy, even how you think. It goes both ways. And noticing those connections can really help you take control of your health.
That's a great point. It's all about listening to our bodies and understanding how everything's connected. I'm ready to load up on kale and work on managing my stress. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time for another fascinating topic.